Welcome, friends and viewers alike. This is episode 1. I'm Troy. The other guy here is Rowan. We are your hosts, and we are so excited to bring you all of the latest updates, our go-to tips, and best insights as a Workspace premier partner working at SADA. And Rowan, I gotta say personally, I'm just excited to sit down and talk shop with one of my favorite colleagues, man. I'd love if you just said hi to our viewers and maybe talk a little bit about why you're so passionate personally about driving collaboration and business productivity using Google Workspace.
Of course, absolutely. I'm delighted to be finally launching the show that's going to really bring Workspace into the masses and educate everyone on this amazing platform. But also excited, of course, to be doing it with you, sir. As we've been able to, start to build a bit of a relationship. I've been in the good city of Toronto for 3 months now, and it's been great getting to know you. And we've been doing these study sessions together in the mornings with our other colleague, Terrence.
Yeah, and that's really how the idea for this show came about is Rowan and I have been studying for our collaboration engineer certification. It's a Google Workspace cert. The idea here is that we get to sit down, talk shop, we get to share some strong insights that you gain through your role as a Workspace Sales Specialist. And I get to sort of reverberate back to you what I've heard from my customers as an account manager. If you're an admin of Workspace or you're an end user, please feel free to subscribe, turn on notifications, come back and check on the content that we're going to have coming down the pipe, because we've got a number of episodes prepared with all of the endless, it seems like, Rowan, update after update after update that Google Workspace is rolling out week after week. And we're going to be exploring that roadmap in each episode. We'll start off each show with Rowan's top 3 Workspace updates for the week. Rowan, why don't you share with us your updates that you'd like to feature today?
Let's do it. So I'm very excited, particularly because Google just announced a whole bounty of absolute incredible functionality. One of those announcements, there was a big set of announcements for Google Meet, which is the video calling tool within Google Workspace. And one of those features coming soon, which I'm very, very excited about, is emoji reactions within a Meet call. So within a call, you'll be able to click a button and select an emoji, showing a sort of non-verbal response without breaking the communication of the call, the verbal communication and the flow. And you'll be able to participate within the call sort of without interrupting it in an interactive way, which I love. That's fantastic. So I love that particularly because, if you follow me on the LinkedIn streets, you'll know I'm an avid user of the emoji.
I already thinking about how our team is going to use that internally on our sales team meetings. Probably a lot of laughing emojis and that sort of thing shared. And I think emojis are just part of how people are used to communicating with each other at this point, right?
And as we work remotely, something that we need to be very aware of is that people feel much more pressured in a video call to speak up and participate. So an option like this where you can use an emoji to react feels a lot more accessible to those people.
That's a great update. What's next?
The next one I'm even more excited about. This is a feature that Google are really leading the way with. This is something that I haven't seen any other provider offer. This one is called the Time Insights Report. This is going to be a custom report provided to you as a user within your Google Calendar service, and Google is going to automatically pick up information from the different types of events that you have scheduled. So for example, if it sees an event that's only in you, then it's a private, perhaps focus time type event. Maybe if it's with one other guest, then it's a one-to-one type meeting. And then if there's more than 2 other guests, it's perhaps a larger type meeting. And it also looks at your out of office information too. So Google takes all of this information and without you doing anything at all as a user, compiles it for you in a report and allows you to analyze and get insights into how you're spending your time. Again, something that I think is really been a challenge when we're working remotely is managing time. I love this feature. Like I said, it's Google really being groundbreaking and setting the tone of work for the future.
And for our viewers, I've seen Rowan's calendar. It is an absolute disaster. It's so hard to get some time on his calendar. He's packed full. As a sales guy, however, I'm independent. I'm allowed to manage my own calendar. is anyone else going to have access to these insights? Because, it's great for me to be able to learn about how I'm spending my time, but is my manager going to be able to check in and see what kind of meetings I'm having? Like, what's the visibility that's going to come with that? That's like, I don't want to say I'm concerned, but,
For sure. I love that you asked this question because it brings out, again, how Google are setting the tone. So, luckily for you, Troy, this feature is only going to be private to you. No one else, like your manager, is going to be able to snoop in and have a look at what you're doing.
I mean, we've talked about this before, but that's really what Workspace is about at its core. It's about empowering the end user, giving them the set of tools that they need to be able to be the most productive that they can be and get the most value out of those tools in their own way. So that's great. What's the third update? What's number 3?
Again, very much is going to set the way that we work in the future. And I think this is actually one that's almost more visionary with the capacity to expand into even better possibilities down the road. But we have seen some demonstration of these capabilities. So what I'm talking about here is a feature called Picture-in-Picture for Meet. So this is where the Meet tool, the video calling tool within Google Workspace, is going to be integrated directly within docs, sheets, and slides. So when you're editing one of these file types, you can be in a call with others, your colleagues or external people even, and you can hear and see them within the context of the file that you're editing. This is something we really, really need when we're remotely working. To be able to have that connected experience where we can see and hear the people that we're working with is as close as we're going to get to compared to being in the office or being in a physical space together whilst being remotely. So I think this feature is really saying how we're going to work in the future in terms of being remote and spread out and still being able to have a connected experience together.
And I'm so glad that they're bringing this update out for us because it's, I think, the natural evolution of the product line that Workspace has started, right? Workspace brought us the ability to edit a document at the same time as our colleague, real time, and work on that document together and build together. But let's be honest, you and I have been on Workspace for some years, and we've all, anyone who's been using Workspace, any of our viewers that have been working on a document at the same time as a colleague, but not had this feature, not had the ability to feel like you're in the same room at the same time, there's going to be times where there's a bit of a pitfall there. You're going to edit the same line at the same time, or you're going to have some overlap. And this is the evolution. This is what Google is doing to solve for that pitfall. I love that you closed with that one too, because it does lead into our next section. Each week, we're going to feature a customer use case of Google Workspace so that we have some real world ideas and implementations that you can connect with as a viewer. If you're an admin, maybe this is going to give you some ideas as to how you could implement Workspace or solve some problems or business challenges that you may be facing. And if you're an end user, maybe you're experiencing some problems and you'd like to share these sorts of use cases with your senior leadership to inspire some change in your company. The first use case that we want to feature is for a SADA customer. The customer is Sony Pictures Imageworks. And I'll just actually read through. So this is actually a published use case on SADA.com. If you're interested in reading any of our other use cases or customer stories, please feel free to visit sada.com/insights, and you'll see a number of published examples of other companies using various Google Cloud technologies to succeed and overcome business challenges. And I'm just going to read directly from our website for a second, because there's a quote here. Mike Ford is the SVP of Software Development and Systems Engineering at SPI. SPI is, of course, Sony Pictures Imageworks. And of the business challenge, Mike was quoted as saying, "A major film production involves hundreds of employees who must communicate seamlessly both internally and externally to meet demanding studio deadlines." He continued that these are huge, multi-million-dollar projects where the ability to make the right decision and execute is fundamental to influencing how the next blockbuster movie performs at the box office. The creative and technical teams working on those multi-million-dollar projects are actually spread out over many locations, and the employees of SPI are actually working from home right now in Vancouver, Canada, shout out Canada, and Culver City, California. And there's really no wonder why the studio puts so much emphasis on teamwork to meet demanding studio deadlines while allowing the talents of its artists and developers to shine. Rowan, why don't you talk a little bit through what the solution was that we implemented for Sony Pictures ImageWorks, and then maybe I'll share some of the results afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm not surprised that they picked Google Workspace as their collaboration platform. I mean, some of the things you described there in terms of speed of being able to work together, share information, and move ideas forward, and the ability to sort of be dynamic and work together. These are exactly the cornerstones of Workspace. So the solution that we helped implement, of course, focused around the core tools within Google Workspace. So Drive, that'd be the file storage and collaboration sort of central place within Google Workspace. And then, of course, the Google Drive editors of docs, sheets, and slides, the Word document, spreadsheet, and presentation type documents and these are the file types that we were referencing earlier that you can allow live collaboration on. So multiple people, and this really speaks to this story, I think, of the customer here needing the ability for multiple people to get together quickly and collaborate on a file. This is exactly what docs, sheets, and slides offers. Multiple people getting together in real time on one version of the file, and they're able to edit and work together without disrupting each other. That's exactly what we implemented.
That's great. And maybe you could give our viewers some idea of the scale of this project. I mean, I know there were a lot of licenses involved in bringing this to life. What were some of the numbers that our viewers might be interested in?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think part of the deployment here was during the sort of peak of transitioning into working from home and really allowing that shift from office-based work mainly to working and collaborating remotely. And over that time period, I mean, there was 1,500 Workspace licenses deployed, with Cloud Search licenses involved as well, and also 2,900 Google Vault licenses, the tool that's for e-discovery and retention. It sort of retains a layer of the Workspace data for searching and retention later on. So
right.
High numbers of volumes.
We're talking about large scale. This is obviously, everyone has probably heard of Sony Pictures ImageWorks that's watching along with us. And we're talking about large scale, of course, at a large enterprise. But I mean, these sorts of solutions work for all sorts of businesses facing these same challenges right now. So I'll just talk really briefly about the results. We've got a little bit of a bullet list here. So some of the listed results from Sony Pictures ImageWorks for this implementation were smoother collaboration between offices in the US and Canada, automation of production reporting, swifter resolution of internal issues using in-house chatbots, seamless transition to working at home during COVID-19 lockdowns, and inspiring teams to collaborate on creative and technical solutions in one common interface. And I think those are all, common results that we see through Workspace implementations here at SADA, but to understand that it did go smoothly, and that our project management team handled it and change management team handled it so well for Sony Pictures ImageWorks that they were really willing to give us some quotes and publish this story on our website and promote SADA. Speaks volumes to how successful the project was. And we look forward to working more with you, Sony Pictures ImageWorks. They recently fell under my book of business as an account that I'm managing. So, Mike, if you're viewing this or listening along, thanks for the kind words, and we'll speak to you next week in some meetings. And so that's the sort of customer use case that we'll share each week, and we'll be varied. They'll be coming from different verticals, different industries. So if that one didn't resonate exactly with your business, if you're experiencing some different challenges, tune back in, and we'll be bringing you some other use cases and customer success stories to show some of the ways that we can implement Workspace and solve your problems.
Absolutely. And Workspace is so effective across so many different business challenges in the communication and collaboration space that there's tons and tons of examples for us to share. We've got lots coming down the line, future episodes that we're excited for.
Even though this is episode 1, I think we've already got weeks of episodes planned, and we know that Google Workspace just keeps rolling out update after update, week after week. So we've got a long road to travel here together, Rowan. I'm excited. The next segment that we have planned for you is going to be featured on every episode, and we think this is top value for our viewers. And I'm so excited that we get to do this because I get to work with Rowan on my customers, on the accounts that I manage, and I get to bring him in on any workspace projects that I'm working on because that's what he's hired for. That's why he's at SADA as a resource. And on those calls, he gets to demo various tools and features within the Workspace suite of tools. And we're going to amplify those demos by having Rowan go through a live demo on each episode. Of course, we're going to clip this segment as well. So if you just want to share this out with your users, if you're a user and you want to share this out with your admins, again, please feel free to grab this demo and share it with anyone you see fit. Rowan, what are you going to demo for us on episode 1? What are you excited to show us?
I'm super excited for this segment of the show because, like you mentioned, in customer calls, I get to show these amazing features that are either live in Workspace today or maybe even coming down the line. We might be able to show that in the show one day. We'll see. But the amazingness is that I get to show the tools in action and exactly all of these abstract concepts that we talk about, like live collaboration, increased security, access from anywhere. I get to show how they can be done in action and the impact they make. So I'm very excited for the first episode to show you all of the capabilities that you have just within one single tool. And I think this is a theme that Google really have developed in their transition from G Suite into Workspace. The idea that all of the tools are going to be tied together so seamlessly that you as a user can access any of the capabilities you need no matter where you are. So today we're going to focus just on Gmail and all of the tools and integrations that are built into that to help you work together easily. So let me show you my Gmail and my demo account and I'll explain exactly what you can do. Here we are in Gmail within my demo account, and we see here that there's an email from Troy, and this is going to be the trigger for the entire set of events that I'm going to do, or the actions, and all of it is going to be completed within the Gmail interface. So we don't need to spend time opening any other tools or going to any other places. It's all within the same interface. So we have Troy's email here. I'm going to click open, and he said, "Hi everyone." So from this, let's play for an example that we need to create a project and we need to create some tasks and get something moving here. So we're going to take his email, and the first thing that you'll notice on the right hand side of my Gmail interface is this right hand panel where we have different tools. The top set of tools are integrations with other Workspace services, and underneath you'll see a plus where I can add third-party add-ons or tools that I might use, which is brilliant. I can bring functionality from these tools into the Gmail interface again, so as I'm working through my email and other parts within Gmail, I can use the third-party tool as well and have that integration. But I'm not even going to go there. I'm just going to show you the integrated Workspace tools and how you can use those. So after Troy sent me an email, the first thing I'm going to do is open up Google Calendar, and I'm going to create an event where we can start talking about this project. So let's click create an event, and you'll see that it picks up automatically for the event title the subject line of the email that Troy sent, which is fantastic. I don't need to do any work there. And you'll see also when I click add guests, it also adds Troy, and it would add other recipients if they were in the thread as well. So it adds all of the recipients in the email thread too automatically as guests. Then I can use find a time to find when he's busy in the schedule. Maybe I want to schedule it tomorrow at 6 p.m. It's a little late, but forgive me, Troy, it's just a demo. And then we're going to click save, and that's us booked in a calendar event without even leaving the Gmail interface. So first thing we do is book an event. Then from there, maybe I want to create some tasks or start to organize what I need to do for the project. So again, I've opened a keep note, and if I click take a note, you'll see that the email automatically gets hyperlinked into the note. So when I refer to this later in the keep service, I can click that link and open the email and have all the context that I need. So all I'm going to write so far is move the project forward.
That's awesome. And for any of our viewers who aren't using KeepNote, who are on Workspace already, it's a game changer, especially if you're on regular meetings and if you're like me and you're bouncing from one meeting to the next and you're having a hard time keeping yourself organized. KeepNote is a lifesaver. So highly recommend use of that tool, and that's such a great integration between the tools.
Yeah, absolutely. I think in a future episode we should maybe do a little focus on all of the functionality and tools within Keep, because it's really mind-blowing when you actually look at it. So now that I've shown you some of the capabilities in the right-hand sidebar in terms of creating an event and creating a Keep Note as well, and some of the automatic integrations, I'm also going to show you how you can use rooms, chat rooms to be specific, to create a specific place where we can organize all of the conversation, tasks, and files around the project. So if you look down on the left-hand side this time in the Rooms section, I can click the plus icon here and click Create Room. I'm going to call this Demo Room. And maybe as well, I want to add a nice little icon. Let's go for the shades, and I'll try it like that. So I'm going to add the icon and give it a title.
Just wish they were green, Rowan.
That is horrible. You stop that, okay? They were just picked up from that event. So after we give it a title and we add an emoji for fun as well, I want to use threaded replies, and that's definitely a conversation we need to have in a future episode for sure. How you use those. A hot topic within the SADA team for sure. But I'm going to use threaded replies to be able to organize our conversation into different threads. And I'm also going to allow people outside the organization to join. This is a safety setting built into the chat room, so that if you only need the chat room to be internal, then that's the default setting. But I can also use chat rooms to collaborate externally. And in this case, because I'm using a demo domain, Troy is outside of my domain. So I'm going to click that on, and then I'm going to add Troy Edwards. And you'll see again another security setting here that we have. He's getting marked with this orange external tag to explain that he's not in my organization. So I'm going to add him into the room, click create, and then within a few clicks, we now have a place where we can organize. You can see at the top, chat, files, and tasks around the project. Isn't that amazing, Troy?
That's awesome. Yeah, and you haven't even left the Gmail tab to do all of this. This is all in one spot.
This is
no more bouncing around from one monitor to the next, or if you like a lot of people these days, depending on where you're working from, maybe you only have the one screen. This is gonna speed up your efficiency of work vastly.
Absolutely. And this is a place that, like I said, becomes a constant continuous thread as we're working through this project and all of the other things that we're doing in work. We can use this as a place to go back to where we have the reference to all the chat, and we can search that easily using the search bar at the top. We have the files associated with the project we can access at any time to reference, and also we can use it to organize any tasks between us. It's by no means a fully fledged project management tool, but you can see how quickly I can get together the basics of getting things done quickly, which is what we love with Google.
Yeah, and I know a lot of end users that work out of their inbox. That's just home base for them. So we're adding, some features and capabilities around that home base to make that home a little bit more comfortable. Build it out, just like I'm going to help you do with your apartment.
I like the jibes that you're throwing in. It's fantastic. Well played. But hopefully that showed the viewers at home the amazing power and capabilities that within one tool is all built and integrated within. You don't need to go anywhere else. Just stay within Gmail and you can create all of these tasks based on the email trigger.
Yeah, so cool. That wraps up the first episode segments, guys. We hope you enjoyed everything that we've shared with you today. Rowan, I had a blast, man. I think, the more and more these things go on, the more fun we're going to have. We'll try and keep the inside jokes inside of the show for all of our viewers so that they can follow along with maybe, the journey of your apartment getting built out and, your effort on saying the city of Toronto's name correctly. I did acknowledge that earlier that you were saying Tirana. Appreciate that. We're slowly welcoming you in as a local to the city. And, can't wait to, open up about that a little bit more over each episode as well. For our viewers, if you're interested in any of the insights or customer stories, again, want to point you towards SADA.com to check out any more information about those and learn more about what we do at SADA. We're specialists in Google Workspace implementations. We do work on all things Google Cloud at SADA. So I encourage you to go check that out if you're interested in what we do. And Rowan, thanks so much, man. Can't wait to see you on the next one. Everyone, have a great, I don't know what to say at the end. Rowan, thanks for sharing everything you did. You worked so hard on sharing the demos and Jamboard with everyone, and we're gonna make you do it again on the next episode. So if you liked what you saw, please remember, subscribe, turn those notifications on so you can stay up to date with all of the new episodes. And if you're interested in any of the customer stories or insights that we shared, head over to SADA.com. SADA is a Google Cloud Premier Partner. Rowan and I both work for SADA here in Toronto, but we are North America wide. If you're interested in anything else that we do, head over to SADA.com to check that out. We're experts in project management, change management, and workspace implementations. So if you're curious about what Google Workspace can do for your business, reach out and we'd be happy to explore that with you. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next episode.